Ladies and gentlemen, this is your WWE NXT review on Tuesday night, May 25th, 2021. I am Joseph Conlon, and we thank you here tonight on the Big Fight Field channel, spending your Tuesday night here listening to us talk about NXT on a Tuesday night. We missed the last 2 weeks. We are back with the NXT reviews, man. They got TakeOver in Your House coming up on Sunday, June 13th. No matches scheduled yet, but I think there are matches that are coming to fold. We will talk about that tonight, what I could see happening on that June 13th show. And then also, this past week, there was a couple releases in NXT in that brand. We are going to get that out of the way as well. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we are going to talk about tonight's show, which I thought for the most part was a solid show. I really loved the main event. That was a great NXT Championship match with Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. We'll talk about who I and Cameron think are going to win the triple threat match next week to challenge Kross at TakeOver in Your House, and what's next for Finn Balor. And as I just said his name, he is back on the Big Fight Field channel for the first time in a long time. I don't remember the last time you were on the channel. My apologies. But my friend Cam, it's great to have you back, dude.
It is great to be back here on the Big Fight Field channel, man. When you get the episode, when you post this episode online on Twitter, when you post this episode online and you announce it on Twitter, I'm gonna post the Michael Jordan magazine cover that goes "I'm back." That goes "I'm back." I'm gonna post that. Man. It feels good to be back on the Big Fight Field channel. It feels good to be back on the Big Fight Field channel, talk some NXT, So let's roll.
We are back. We are back on Tuesday night, baby. That's Adam Cole, baby. That's our thing. We're back on Tuesdays. But really quickly before we are going to get into the releases that took place this past week. But really quickly, what did you think about tonight's show?
I thought outside of Bobby Fish and Pete Dunne and outside of the NXT title match, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I thought this show was a bore. I thought this was a bore. I found myself, this show did not keep my interest tonight, if I'm being perfectly honest. I felt myself about to doze off during a lot of this show more than anything. Outside of Fish and Dunne in the NXT title match, I thought this was a bore. I thought this was a bore. Not to say it was a bad show necessarily, because again they had some good wrestling on here, but I just thought this. But for the most part, I thought this was boring.
Yeah, I could see that. It was mostly a filler show. I did like that match with Pete Dunne and Bobby Fish. We will get to that. But if you haven't already, guys, be sure to check out last night's Raw review on the channel. Just put that up. I just put it during the show because I wanted to. But really, just to get it out there, go ahead and check out my Monday Night Raw review. Also, you can go ahead and check out the CNE podcast, AEW Double or Nothing Preview and Predictions with Cameron's guest. I apologize if I don't get the last name right. Miguel. I don't even know. I don't want to say the last name because I don't want to mess it up. But do you know your guess you had? What was his last name?
I do not know how to pronounce his last name. Unfortunately, I do not know how to pronounce his last name. But make sure you check out the CNE. That's C. That's C&E. So that's the letters. So those are the it's the letters C and E. And then podcasts available on all platforms. We had available on all platforms. We had a fun hour chat about what the true main event. But we had a fun chat going over Double or Nothing. What the true main event is? Who's the best wrestling dentist of all time? Britt Baker, Isaac Yankem. And we had a fun show. We had a fun hour show. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you check out the CNE podcast, available on all platforms.
Make sure you guys go ahead and do that, man. We started off NXT tonight with Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon teaming up against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. We've seen this match a bunch of times. The match was okay, I guess. Nothing really too crazy. The babyfaces won, which I was kind of shocked about, considering Raquel is the women's champion. But I believe Ember Moon pinned Dakota Kai with the Eclipse. Afterwards, Raquel Gonzalez attacked Ember Moon. She then grabbed Shotzi, put her up in a powerbomb position, and was powerbombing her back and forth between the steel barricade and the ring post, and then the barricade to the post, while Dakota Kai made Ember Moon watch what Raquel was doing to her friend Shotzi Blackheart. Then she drops her on top of the barricade after the attack. So it could look, by the looks of it, maybe we're seeing Ember Moon against Raquel Gonzalez at In Your House, which I really don't know how they came up with that one, but I mean, whatever. We're just giving Raquel Gonzalez challengers at this point, which, I mean, I'm cool with, I guess, as long as the story's good and they have a good match at the TakeOver. But, yeah, what were your thoughts on the opening match and a possible showdown at In Your House between Ember Moon and Raquel Gonzalez? And by the way, I was going to start this review with the NXT releases. We will get to that after Mr. Johnson talks about this match.
The finish, the winners surprised me. The winners surprised me because maybe my memory is a bit fuzzy, but I remember last week when these two teams were in a backstage segment, I thought William Regal made this match like a number one contenders match, where like the winner of this match would face the way for the women's tag team titles, and just based off the match Raquel had with Mercedes Martinez. I don't know if it was last week, may have been a couple weeks ago. It may have been a couple weeks ago, and they showed the backstage segment on YouTube of Raquel Gonzalez giving respect to Mercedes, showing Mercedes Martinez respect. Then you see Dakota Kai in the background, which is absolute. You see Dakota Kai in the background, which is absolutely disgusted. Which is absolutely disgusted, and it was absolutely livid. And then based off the backstage segment we got between them last week, I thought this was going to lead to a Raquel and Dakota Kai victory, with them challenging for the tag team titles. In a couple of weeks, or at In Your House, or at In Your House, and they're going to do the turn with Dakota and Raquel on that show. They're going to do the turn with Dakota and Raquel on that show. So the finish definitely shocked me. I was surprised Shotzi Ember won. I was also a bit mad because I was like, damn. I was also a bit mad because I was like, I really hope this doesn't lead to another Shotzi Ember against the Way match for the women's tag team titles. But outside of that, if they're doing Raquel versus Ember at the next TakeOver show, I don't have a problem with it. But I'm not gonna lie, this just feels thrown together. No disrespect to Ember Moon or Raquel Gonzalez. I'm pretty sure those women are going to go in there and they're going to kill it. But this match just feels very thrown together. That's the direction they're going in for TakeOver.
Oh, absolutely. I can absolutely see them throwing in Ember Moon, because at the end of the day, they need challengers for Raquel Gonzalez. And as far as Raquel and Dakota go, I'm pretty sure we all know the turn is going to happen. It's just now a matter of when it's going to happen and who is going to turn on who. So it's coming sooner rather than later, I guess. But this past week, we had a bunch of releases in the NXT brand. I don't know all the names. Do you know all the names? I think the only ones that I knew that stood out were obviously the Velveteen Dream. Everybody knows his situation, so I'm not going to dive into that one that deep. Velveteen Dream is gone. Patrick Clark is gone. Alexander Wolf was kicked out of Imperium last week, and he is now gone. He's no longer in the WWE. Referee Drake Wirtz, who I heard was a complete asshole backstage in the locker room, he is gone, and I heard that the NXT locker room was actually celebrating that he got released. So it just goes to show you how much of an a-hole Drake Wirtz really was. And then I heard that Jessamine Duke got released last week as well, which that one kind of shocked me. But do you have any other names on the list that got released? And you can get your thoughts on the recently released NXT talent.
I know Kavita Devi was also on that list. For those of you who don't know who Kavita Devi is, I think she was in the first. I think she was in the first two. I think she was in the only two Mae Young Classics WWE ever did. I know in 2017 she was definitely in the tournament. And she had a match with Dakota Kai that has 60-something million views on YouTube. Yes, which has 60-something million views on YouTube, which is absolutely unreal. And then I think she wrestled in it again in 2018. I think she lost to Caitlyn. I think she lost to Caitlyn, former Divas champion, in the first round of 2018. So I know she was released. The girlfriend of Joey Janela, of AEW fame, Brandy Lauren. She was also released, which actually surprised me because I thought she had a lot of potential. She's only about 20. She's only 23, 24 years old, and she's really, really good. So I thought, the fact that they just signed her and never used her, that shocked me. Referee Jake Clemens, who, for those of you that don't know Jake Clemens, he was on Raw. He was on Raw last year. He was the guy that Kevin Owens. He was the referee that Kevin Owens put through the table. He was the referee Kevin Owens put through the table when Kevin Owens was feuding with Seth Rollins. So he's gone. This guy named Erza Judge, a guy we never saw in NXT. He was a guy we never saw in NXT TV. He was a former football player. He's gone. And Vanessa Bourne.
Oh my God!
Who got called up to Raw. She got moved up to the main roster, and they didn't do a goddamn thing with her. She's gone. She's also gone from WWE. So, yeah.
Dude, I completely forgot she was employed in the first place.
I did,
oh, my God.
I did, too. When they released her, I was like, she still had a job?
That's what I was like, too. But, man, the one name that really popped out to me, obviously, not Velveteen Dream, Alexander Wolf. He did some good things for the WWE. He was in Sanity with Eric Young and Killian Dane. Imperium with Walter and Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. I still remember that 8-man tag at Worlds Collide with the Undisputed Era and how amazing that match was. And he suffered a concussion in the beginning of the match, and I felt bad for him. And then I think they were doing this storyline where he was going to get kicked out of Imperium, but, I can easily, he could play that crazy, wild maniac gimmick well that he did in Sanity. For his future, I can easily see him going over to Impact Wrestling and joining Eric Young and being in Violent by Design. So they're doing that faction is doing great for themselves right now. And if Wolf goes to Impact Wrestling, that's where I see him landing up. What about you?
I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was just gonna say, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I can see that. I agree. I can see that happening. I think he said, I don't know if he said this on Twitter or not, or where I remember reading. I don't know if he said this on Twitter or not, but I remember seeing a report that once his contract expires with WWE on June 15th, because that's essentially what this was. They went to him and said, "We're not renewing your They went to him and said, "We're not renewing your contract when it expires June 14th." It's either June 14th or 15th, sometime in June. I know he said. I think he said on Twitter or in an interview. He said somewhere. He said somewhere that he actually plans on moving back to Germany. So if he moves back to Germany, good for him. I hope he finds success there. But if he doesn't move to Germany, he wants to stay in the States for a little while. I could definitely see him going back to Impact. I could definitely see him going to Impact Wrestling and being paired up with Eric Young. I can see that.
Yeah, hey man, well, whatever he decides to do, just hope for nothing but the best for Alexander Wolf and what he chooses to do. So, back to tonight's program. We had Pete Dunne, one-on-one with Bobby Fish. I thought this was a great match. These two guys are great technical wrestlers. They have great chemistry together. They put on a very, very good match. Bobby Fish has new theme music. It's generic, just like Adam Cole's, just like Kyle O'Reilly's. They gave Bobby Fish some generic theme music, and they put a fish, like they put a screen of a fish on the big X on the stage of NXT, and they did another injury angle with him tonight. He lost clean to Pete Dunne, which I love to see. Pete Dunne getting clean wins on NXT. That's what should be happening. And he took out the arm of Bobby Fish. No, Oney Lorcan did. Oney Lorcan took out the arm of Bobby Fish. So I don't know what's going on with him or what they plan doing with Bobby Fish, but it looks like he is hitting the sideline again after this being his first match since TakeOver War Games. I thought this was a great match between Dunne and Fish. Cam, you're up.
I'm in agreement with you. I thought this was a great match. No surprise there. Pete Dunne, we all know what Pete Dunne brings to the table. Bobby Fish, I think, was the more. I think he was one of the more underrated members of Undisputed Era because everybody with Undisputed Era was talking about how great Adam Cole was, how great Kyle O'Reilly was, how great Roger Strong was, and I think Bobby Fish kind of got thrown into the wayside. Bobby Fish is very, very good. Bobby Fish is very, very good. So no shocker there. You put two great pro wrestlers in the ring, you give them some time, and they have a fantastic match. No shock there. When they did the injury angle with Pete Dunne, when they did the injury angle, I was for certain Kyle O'Reilly was going to come out and make. I was certain Kyle O'Reilly was going to come out and make the save. Kyle O'Reilly didn't come out and make the save. I was like, what the hell are they doing here? And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I thought Kyle O'Reilly was going to make the save. So that shocked me. But who knows? Maybe Bobby Fish gets taken. Who knows? Maybe with Bobby Fish getting taken out, maybe when Bobby Fish comes back to TV, he targets Kyle O'Reilly. He targets Kyle O'Reilly for Kyle O'Reilly not helping him out. So who knows? But yeah, this was a great match.
I can easily see that happening. But moving on next, we're not really going to talk about the segment that happened or the short package we're just going to talk about our thoughts. Like, we haven't, because we weren't on the review for NXT the past 2 weeks. And this faction has been highlighted the past 2 weeks. And all I see on Twitter is positive feedback about this faction. And I'm loving the work they are doing in their early run. Man, Hit Row, dude. You got to love Hit Row, right?
Yeah, you gotta love Hit Row. Hit Row is great. Hit Row is great. I love the fact that Hit Row is great. I love the fact that with Isaiah Swerve Scott, they have him in the studio, because I guess he's like I don't know if he's a rapper or a producer. I don't know if he's a rapper or a producer, but I like the fact that his vignettes are him in the studio, because it's him, because that's him. That's who he is. That's him. That's who he is. And this faction so far, this faction so far has been great, man. They've been doing great work. Their promos have been great. They look like $1 million. Hit Row is going to be a major force. This is going to be a major faction to deal with in NXT, man. Because Hit Row's got it. Hit Row's got it. And Isaiah Swerve Scott, when he wins that North American title, he's going to look real good with that title, man. Hit Row's where he's at.
Yeah, I still got to figure out all the names in that faction. I know we have Swerve Scott. I think one of the guys is Ashanti the Adamus. And I got the big tall dude. I still don't know his name. And I'm not sure. What's that?
That's Top Dollar.
Top Dollar. I like that. That rolls off the tip of your tongue. Top Dollar. And then what's the woman's name? Like, they called her B or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's B. It's the Brianna Brandy. She's been signed since. It's Brianna Brandy. I think she signed in either late 20. I think she signed in either 2018 or 2019. But she's been down there a while.
Gotcha. So we got Isaiah Scott, Ashanti the Adamus, Top Dollar, and Brianna Brandy. I like it, man. I love Hit Row, and I want to see them. But I want to see them get some gold, man. I want to see them get some gold. And speaking of gold, we had $1 million face-off. I was looking forward to this a lot. We had Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase. At this segment, they were going back and forth, and Grimes was like, why are you doing this stuff to me? And Ted DiBiase was like, you got talent, kid. I like you, Cameron. And he wants to take him under his wing. And he said, you got to focus on the ring. And then LA Knight came out and he says, like, he's $1 million and he's the one focused on the ring. And then Knight attacks Grimes. And at the end of the segment, you have DiBiase laughing at Cameron Grimes, and he walked out with LA Knight. So that was the segment. I actually, before I give my thoughts and opinions on it, I want to hear what you have to say first about this. I'm very curious.
I thought the segment was great. Although I was confused at the end because I didn't know if Cameron Grimes made a baby, because I didn't know if Cameron Grimes made a babyface turn or what. But this was definitely a segment. I was not expecting them to go down this route. At least not yet. When they had the $1 million face-off. I was expecting the payoff for this entire storyline to be, the entire storyline for this, I was expecting the payoff to be Ted DiBiase. The payoff be, we find out Cameron Grimes went broke, and now he has to work. We find out Cameron Grimes went broke, and we find out he went broke, and he now has to work for Ted DiBiase. I thought those segments could have been very entertaining. But I like the route that they went down here. And when they were here, I thought this was going to lead to DiBiase giving Cameron Grimes the $1 million championship. There have been rumors online that the $1 million title is on its way, but that the $1 million title is on its way back to WWE. The last time we saw the $1 million title, we saw the last time we saw the $1 million title was around the waist of Ted DiBiase Jr. Ted DiBiase Jr. If you don't remember Ted DiBiase Jr., there's a reason why. The guy was an absolute charisma vacuum. The guy was an absolute charisma vacuum back in the day. They paired him with Maurice. They tried to make him Ted DiBiase 2.0, and it was a complete and utter failure. I think that's the last time we ever saw the $1 million championship on television. So, there are rumors that they're going to bring the title back, and I thought that's what this segment was going to be. I thought the segment was going to end with DiBiase giving Grimes the $1 million title. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I'm thinking of In Your House, unless they blow the match off on television unless they blow the match off on TV in a couple weeks. Thinking of In Your House, we get Cameron Grimes and and LA Knight, and I think that match gets contested for the $1 million championship. That's what I could see happening here at TakeOver or on TV in a couple weeks.
I definitely that's definitely a TakeOver match, and I do think at the end of the day, Ted is going to side with Cameron Grimes and be on the side of Cameron Grimes. And let me tell you something, man. Cameron Grimes, it feels like tonight was the official face turn of Cameron Grimes, as the small crowd at the CWC was chanting for him, and he was acknowledging it and playing up to the crowd. And let me tell you, man, when I have no idea when NXT is going back to full crowds, hopefully soon, but when we get a full crowd in front of Cameron Grimes, he is going to be so over. And when he does to the moon, everybody is going to be saying that, dude. Oh my God. They need to get it. We need a full crowd in front of Cameron Grimes. I really think he's going to benefit from having a full capacity, I think.
Of course, he's going to. The entire show is going to benefit, but I think he's going to benefit. I think he's going to benefit a lot. I think he's going to benefit a lot, whether that's in Full Sail or in that Capital Wrestling Center they have there, Whenever we get fans back in attendance, Cameron Grimes is going to be over like Rover.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. And, Cameron Grimes could be a big-time player in NXT as a babyface in the near future. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what holds for him. And now he's this feud with LA Knight. Maybe for the $1 million championship. More than likely it will be. So we'll have to see what happens. We had the debut of Frankie Monet as she went one-on-one with Cora Jade. This was the definition of a short squash match. 3 minutes. Valkyrie put I can't say Frankie Monet, man. Valkyrie put her away with the Grand Slam, and you had Beth Phoenix on commentary say, I've seen that before. So I just wanted to throw that out there, man. If Beth Phoenix was to have a match in NXT, I think a match with Taya Valkyrie would kind of fit for her, but that's obviously her choice. But Valkyrie gets the win. Nothing more. Short and sweet. What'd you think?
It was your basic squash match. I hope they have more plan, and I hope they have more plan for Cora Jade, other than to just put her in squash matches, because I think she's really good. I think she could be a player. I think she could be a player in the NXT Women's Division. So hopefully they have more plan for her than doing jobs. But this is a fine squash. Frankie, this is a fine squash. Taya Valkyrie, I'm sorry, I'm not calling her Frankie Monet. I refuse. I refuse to call her Frankie Monet. Taya Valkyrie is going to be a player. She's going to be a big player in this women's division. Although part of me does wish that she would leave NXT and go up to Raw to be with John Morrison. To be with John Morrison, especially with Miz being out. I think Morrison and Taya could be a money combo. I think Morrison and Taya could be a money combo in WWE. But it is what it is. But it is what it is. Ty is gonna be a big star. She's gonna be big. She's gonna be a big time player in this women's division.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So she has a star written all over her. So we'll have to see what happens with Ty Valkyrie. Speaking of star, last week we had a star-making moment when the colossal Bronson Reed won the North American Championship from Johnny Gargano in a great steel cage match. I cannot remember the last time I thought a steel cage match in the WWE was a great match. I thought this was a great match last week. Bronson Reed getting the big moment as the North American champion. Congratulations to him. He came out tonight. He cut a promo saying it took him 14 years to climb the mountain and then fall back down, to climb the mountain and then fall back down, and then finally climb the colossal mountain and reach what you have worked for your entire life. And it silenced the doubters with him holding the championship. And to any kid out there who has dreams that they want to accomplish, keep fighting for them, never give up, and you're gonna get to the top. So we got that little nice promo from Bronson Reed. Then out came Santos Escobar with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. I couldn't be any happier that we saw Santos Escobar here, because it shows that he can do way more than challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I think we've known that for a very long time now, that Santos is much better than the Cruiserweight Championship. But he came out and he said when he watched his win last week, something caught his eye. It wasn't him. It wasn't the match. It was the North American Championship, as it represents United States and Mexico. And it's something that represents Mexico. That something belongs to Santos Escobar, and the North American Championship belongs to me. So then they set a trap for Legado del Fantasma to attack Bronson Reed. Then MSK, they come running down for the save, and it's a 3-on-3 situation, and they run away. So I thought this was a good segment. And hey, man, you want to give me Santos Escobar versus Bronson Reed for the North American Championship, 3 weeks, June 13th? Not a problem, man. Not a problem at all. Just give it to me now, because I think that match is going to be freaking awesome. That's going to be an awesome match. Escobar and Bronson Reed. Cam, I can totally get behind that, man.
I can too. I can too. Let me tell you something. If you're listening to this review right now, if you're listening to this review right now,
everybody should.
Escobar Bronson Reed match better hype you up, okay? It better hype you up for the North American Championship, and if it doesn't, well then I was gonna ban you from this channel, but I was gonna ban you from the channel, no. But I'm not gonna do that to Joe. I'm not gonna do that to Joe. So I'm gonna just say, I don't know what's wrong with you, but Bronson Reed, Santos Escobar match is very intriguing. All jokes aside, though, a Reed Escobar match is very, very intriguing. I'm glad Santos Escobar is graduating from the Cruiserweight division and moving on to feud for the North American title. Moving on to feud from the North American title. I think he could be a fine North American champion. I think he could be a fine ICUS champion. And to be honest with you, if the day comes Santos Escobar does get called up to the main roster, I think the one thing that may work to his advantage is the fact that he can speak English and Spanish. Is the fact that he can speak English fluently. There's no language barrier with him. He doesn't speak he doesn't speak broken English. It's the fact that he can go out there when he's speaking, he doesn't speak broken English. That's the one thing that might help him. But look, this match at TakeOver, sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up. Santos Escobar is right where he should be. He should be wrestling for the North American Championship, and he should be wrestling for the North American Championship. And hopefully, this means bigger and better things for Santos down the road. Same thing in Bronson Reed, because Santos should be wrestling. Because this is right where Santos should be.
Yeah. So now. Last week, we had Bronson Reed win the North American Championship, and what I thought was a great steel cage match. What did you think about that steel cage match and Bronson Reed getting his colossal big moment?
I thought the cage match was great. I thought the cage match was great. One of the best steel cage match, probably the best steel cage match in WWE in a very, very long time. Probably back to Shayna and Io. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think this is the best one since then. And you see Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. This is how you have a cage match right here, man. This is how you have a cage match. But I thought this was great. I have a question for you because I don't remember. Did Bronson Reed hit the big splash from the top of the cage?
No, he hit it from the top rope. He jumped off the top rope, not in his normal tsunami position, but like in a position you would do a coast to coast. He hit it in that position, but he hit a tsunami splash on Johnny Gargano. No, I don't think he would have jumped from the top of the cage.
That was surprise. Since I remember now that he didn't jump from the cage, thank you for that, Joseph. That shocked me. The fact that NXT wouldn't have him jump from the top. The fact that NXT wouldn't have him jump from the top of the cage, and it's not like we haven't seen people of Bronson Reed's size do it before. One of the best moments, I think, in WWE history, definitely in cage match history, Fully Loaded 2000. Rikishi and Val Venus on that show had a steel cage match for the IC title, and Rikishi just did this gigantic splash from the top of the cage. And I was hoping they would recreate that with Bronson Reed and Johnny Gargano. How great of a visual would that have been? To have Bronson Reed hit the giant splash off the top of the cage, and Johnny Gargano just gets squished like a bug, and he wins the North American Championship that way. But that's a minor nitpick for what was an excellent match. Great cage match with those guys there.
If that move had happened, Johnny Gargano would not have a back anymore. So
that's probably true.
I'm just saying he wouldn't have a back anymore. But next week looks like a loaded show for NXT. We have the tag team titles, which personally I would have put on TakeOver in your house, but we're getting it next week. We're getting Legado del Fantasma versus MSK for the tag team championships. And then we're also getting the number one contender match next week, which we will talk about after we talk about this main event, which is going to be right now. Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross II. Second match from the first match that took place at Stand and Deliver at TakeOver, WrestleMania week. This match was a great match. Once again, I would have preferred the TakeOver match WrestleMania week, but this match tonight was absolutely TakeOver worthy, man. The last 5 minutes of this match, I thought, was freaking excellent. I don't remember what spot it was, but I remember a spot where Balor sent Kross, he fell on the ground, And then Kross got right back up, and he gave him like a back body suplex, like Randy Orton does, onto the announce table. That spot was freaking sick, man. I loved that. And then Kross dominating most of the match. Balor coming back. They told a good story here. They made the commentary, Vic Joseph. I'm not that high on Vic Joseph or Wade Barrett's good, but the commentary in this match I thought was freaking great. I loved the commentary on this match, and Karrion Kross retained the NXT Championship, passing out Finn Balor with the straitjacket to retain the NXT Championship in another great match between Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. Thoughts on the match, and then we are going to talk about the number one contender match and what could happen next with Finn Balor.
Karrion Kross and Finn Balor, this was an excellent match. This match was excellent. If you're gonna watch one thing from this show, if you're gonna watch one thing from NXT tonight, or if you tuned out from NXT, you just don't think NXT, you just think NXT lost a lot of its pizzazz, and you don't watch it anymore. Which is perfectly fine. I definitely recommend checking out this match here between Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. This was an excellent. This was an excellent match here. I love the back and this is an excellent match here. I love the back and forth they were doing. I absolutely loved that spot, like you mentioned, where loved that spot where you mentioned where Finn Balor, takes down Kross, but Kross gets right back up and hits Balor with the back body and hits Balor with the back suplex. With the back suplex, like we hits him with the Randy Orton special, the back suplex. I thought this was an excellent match. The last few minutes of it were great. Vic Joseph, I think is very polarizing. Some people like him, some people like him, some people hate him. I thought he was great. During this match here. Same thing with Wade Barrett. And I thought this is an excellent match to top off this NXT show.
Now, next week, before this match, it was announced that we would get a triple threat number one contender match where the winner would face Karrion Kross at TakeOver In Your House. We got Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and Johnny Gargano in a triple threat match. Winner faces Karrion Kross at TakeOver In Your House. I really think you can make a case for Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly. I think Gargano is going to be in there to take the pin. But if I had to make a prediction, I am saying that Kyle O'Reilly is going to win the triple threat match next week, face Kross at TakeOver. And then that TakeOver is when Adam Cole is going to come back. He is going to cost Kyle O'Reilly the NXT Championship from Karrion Kross. And then we are going to resume the feud between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole that we had last April. A lot of people are saying Pete Dunne, and I wouldn't mind a Pete Dunne Karrion Kross match. But if this is what I'm thinking they're going to do Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Kross on June 13th at In Your House. Now, who does Cameron Johnson think is going to face Karrion Kross on the 13th at In Your House?
Well, I can see them definitely doing Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Kross on the show. I think it's way too early. It would surprise me for them to do Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Kross this early. I thought that would have at least been the match SummerSlam weekend. I thought this would have at least been the match they do at TakeOver SummerSlam weekend. But just unless they're trying to throw, unless they're just trying to throw everybody off. Which is very possible based on the way he's been built up, and just based on the way he's been built up and focused on. I think Pete Dunne is winning the three-way next week. I think Pete Dunne wins the three-way. Gargano's just a body in this match. Johnny Gargano is just a body to take the. Johnny Gargano is just a body to take the fall. And to be honest with you, Johnny Gargano shouldn't even be in this match. To be honest with you, Johnny Gargano shouldn't even be in this match. He lost the NXT North American Championship. Now he has an opportunity to wrestle for the world. Now he has an opportunity to wrestle for the world title. So if we're being completely honest, Gargano shouldn't even be in this match. But I think Pete Dunne wins it next week. I think Pete Dunne wins it, and I think we get Karrion Kross and Pete Dunne at TakeOver. And we get Karrion Kross and Pete Dunne at TakeOver. Meanwhile, Kyle O'Reilly, I don't know what Kyle O'Reilly does. Maybe they bring Bobby Fish back early and they do Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. I don't know. They do Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Johnny Gargano wins. Maybe Johnny. I don't think it's a shot. I don't think there's a chance in hell this happens. But maybe Johnny Gargano wins next week, and this leads to a tag team match with Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan taking on Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish at TakeOver in Your House. Maybe it leads to that. I don't know. But I think Pete Dunne is walking out with the win next week.
Yeah, man. Should be a hell of a triple threat match. We'll see who walks out the number one contender next week. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up tonight's NXT review here on the Big Fight Field channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the NXT review. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. We got a big remainder of the week coming up Thursday. You already know, man. Thursday, we are going to have the Double or Nothing round table discussion here on the Big Fight Field channel with Wesley Williams, Matt Moody, and DJ Storms, the man himself. Us four are going to be in the round table discussion Thursday here on the channel. You're not going to want to miss that. Friday, we're going to do Friday Night Dynamite. Is going to be a very late night here on the channel, but that's all right. And Saturday, if there's any news going into the Double or Nothing card, I will do a video on that. And then Sunday, you're going to get the Double or Nothing review after the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, of course. And before the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, it is looking very good that I will more than likely be live on Instagram a couple hours before the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, talking all things professional wrestling. So if you want to come in, hang out, I'd appreciate that. That's the remainder of the schedule this week on the channel. So be sure to subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts about NXT tonight. Hit the like button if you like what myself and Cameron Johnson said about tonight's episode of NXT. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Colin_Joseph. Cam, where can they follow you on Twitter, my friend?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101. I talk wrestling, the NBA, and I'll talk wrestling, the NBA, and also simp on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter at Cam71101.
And you got any last minute words before we get out of here tonight? No last minute words for me. Just no last minute words for me. Just make sure you subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Yep. Hey, very quickly before we get out of here, man. Sunday night, really quick. Inner Circle or Pinnacle?
I got the Pinnacle. I got the Pinnacle winning. I think it's time. I think it's time for the Inner Circle to go their separate ways.
He's got the Pinnacle winning the Stadium Stampede match. Thank you guys for watching so much. We will see you next Tuesday here on the NXT review, and I will see you Thursday here on the channel for the roundtable discussion. Have a good night, stay safe, and as always, stay classy.